basically the upper gun platform of Fort Mackinac. And what we're going to be doing for you here today is a cannon demonstration with this guy right here, our 1841 6-pound smoothbore field gun. Now, it's a long name for a cannon, but, well, it's easy to break down. First of all, 6-pounder. Why is it called a 6-pounder? Shout it out.
6 pounds.
6-pound ball, exactly right. It shoots that ball at the maximum range of 1 mile, which is just past the shores of Round Island over there. So if we wanted to, we could hit that island. Unfortunately, at that range, it's terribly inaccurate. The best I can tell you is that we'll probably hit a tree. That is not specific. A more accurate range is a ½ mile right at the end of the stone breakwalls there, where the ferry boats turn to take you folks home. Now, even at that range, a good cannon crew in the 1840s was only expected to hit a 100-foot ship 1 out of every 3 times. So not the best, but nonetheless, it gets the job done here at Fort Mackinac in the 1880s, because that's the time period we're representing. The Army saw fit to send us 40-year-old, antique, completely inaccurate weapons for our gun platforms. What does that say about the military significance of Fort Mackinac? We're not important. We have 0 military significance. In fact, we are the headquarters for Mackinac Island National Park. So what we're doing is we're firing salutes, maybe to start the day. It's a little bit of ceremony. We play reveille. We fire a cannon salute and the flag goes up. And maybe at the end of the workday, at the end of retreat, we fire yet another cannon salute. Maybe we'd celebrate for maybe the national holidays like Memorial Day. Maybe the 4th of July, we'd have a 38 cannon salute, 1 for each state in the Union at the time. Or maybe we're also celebrating a dignitary coming over here, somebody special. Well, Brett and I think that you folks are very special, so we thought we'd fire a cannon salute for you here today. Now, in the 1880s, we would have 3 soldiers fire off a salute. Can you see a problem? Brett and I are only 2, so we're going to need a volunteer. How about you in the green there, bud? How much slide in here? Go Wings. All right, slide on over here. What's your name, sir? Brady? Braden. All right, where are you from? Marquette. Can you give me 2 big thumbs up? Now, which hand do you write with? Right with your hand. Better give me your left, just in case. Give me a big thumbs up. Slide that on you. Now, come on over here. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your thumb flat over that hole. You see it? All right, nice and flat. All right. What Braden is doing is he's doing what is called thumb stalling. This means he's cutting off the oxygen flow to the rear of the cannon, making this process much more safe and efficient for Brett at the front. Now, Brett, what is this first tool you have for us?
Well, John, this is called the gunner's worm or auger. Double corkscrew on the end of a long stick here. We run it down the barrel to scrape out any solid debris, which we do for 2 reasons. And John, what are those 2 reasons?
Well, you know, this is a pretty simple process, because while we're spinning that around, we're pulling out that debris to, 1, make sure we don't have a malfunction in the breech of the cannon or in the back there by pulling all that out. And also, we want to pull out sparks that might be lingering on that debris. So that's a pretty simple process. But, Brett, what is this next tool you have for us?
Well, John, this is called the wet swab. This is essentially a large, dirty, wet Q-tip that we use to extinguish sparks lingering in the barrel in, again, 2 ways. And, John, what are those 2 ways?
Brett, I'm glad you asked, because we extinguish those sparks in 2 different ways. 1 being water and fire. Do not mix. But 2, with Braden's expert thumb stalling, we've now created a vacuum seal inside. Heard that thump? That's oxygen racing back into the barrel. So all those sparks should be asphyxiated. It's just like putting a glass over a candle. They can't continue to burn. Now, Braden, do you think you've done a good job for us here today? Can you give everybody 2 big thumbs up, show them that you actually still have your left thumb? There you go, take it off there. He still has his thumb, and he's done a great job. Can everybody give him a round of applause? Thank you. All right, now I'm going to continue to thumb stall while we load in our powder charge, which is 3 ounces of black gunpowder. Wrapped in that, as always, historically accurate Reynolds Wrap aluminum foil. That's a little bit of a lie. They wouldn't be using that aluminum foil. Rather, what they would be using is a cotton muslin cloth. They'd be using that, but unfortunately, it does give a fire hazard here on the island, so we use that tin foil. And we also use a crooked safety rammer. Now, this will allow Brett to stand off to the side of the gun while tamping down on live gunpowder. In the 1880s, they weren't as lucky. It would have been a straight rammer. And we did have accidents up here with cannons going off prematurely. We'd rather not repeat history here today. So we're going to roll this cannon into firing position now. Brett's going to step to the rear of the cannon and pull out a brass gunner's spike or gimlet. Now he's going to run this down the touch hole where I had my thumb. Well, he's going to prick open that aluminum foil, exposing our black gunpowder to a friction primer. It's our ignition device for the day. friction-sensitive chemical. You pull that pin, it sparks, touching the gunpowder in the tube, then running a jet flame down to our charge to create the flash and boom that you folks will hear and see in just a moment. Now, I mentioned, folks, that a good cannon crew could hit a 100-foot ship at a half mile 1 out of every 3 times. Well, folks, you're in for a treat, because they are what, well, Brett and I are what is called an exceptional cannon crew. And that means that we can hit a one bell that is 12 inches by 12 inches on top of that green buoy just over half a mile away. Now, folks, we're batting 1,000 for the year. We have not missed. In fact, the DNR is not happy with what we're doing to that bell. So we're going to aim this cannon here a little bit. And folks, what we're going to do is we're going to recommend that all of you cover your ears while we actually do fire the cannon, but then pay close attention, because I bet you might hear that ding of that bell.
This is going to be hard.
With that, he's going to attach this lanyard, and we're going to be ready to go.
Cover my ears.
Put it under your chin, Alec. Put it under your chin or something.
That'd be ridiculous.
There are only 2 commands to fire this cannon. There, ready? Fire! I think we're on track. There it is! Still batting 1,000. All right, folks, we'd like to thank you for coming up here. We actually do have 2 tours beginning right away at the edge of the parade ground, both a soldier's life tour and a children's tour. Those are both highly recommended. They give you a little bit of an overview about those 2 segments of the fort here in the 1880s. Otherwise, if you have questions, stick around, and thank you very much for visiting Fort Mackinac today.